Hey everybody, welcome back to the VMP channel. I'm Justin and I'm here in the shop again with my 2012 Shelby GT500. One of the most important parts of the supercharged car is the belt system. It drives the supercharger, it allows you to make boost. You may have seen our previous video about the VMP heavy duty sprung tensioner. We have another upgrade for the belt system that works in conjunction with that upgrade or as a standalone item, and that is the VMP adjustable tensioner. So this tensioner actually performs a couple different functions. It has the ability to adjust and take up belt slack as necessary, and it also creates additional wrap around the supercharger pulley at the same time, which is incredibly important for those supercharger pulleys that just seem to get smaller and smaller and smaller every day. And one of the benefits of it being adjustable is that it makes it easy to go back to the larger supercharger pulley when you've had just too much boost and you want to take it easy and you don't want to be as fast. No. Really, when maybe you want to go from an E85 tune back to a 93 tune and you just need to lower your boost to keep the combination safe. So without talking about this too much more, I'm going to go ahead and install it on the car and show everybody how it works. Just unbolting the coolant degas tank gives us all the room we need to work on everything. I never bother to disconnect any of these hoses. I just work around them, and that way the coolant system stays completely sealed and nothing is spilled anywhere. The belt does have to be released, for which you'll need a 1/2 inch flex head ratchet or a 3/8 flex head ratchet, depending on whether you have the stock tensioner or the upgraded one from VMP. So I'll go right in here, get the belt released. I just like to tuck the belt down here out of the way. That gives us room to work and it maintains all the routing so it's easy to put the belt back on. So the VMP auxiliary adjustable idler tensioner mounts right here. So we're going to take out these 3 bolts. There are still 2 other bolts that hold this coolant manifold on, so we don't have to worry about anything leaking or coming loose. So the adjustable tensioner does come with 3 long 6mm bolts. These are going to go right through here and they're going to replace the bolts that we just removed, and they're going to hold the tensioner and the coolant manifold down to the lower intake manifold. So let's get this guy in here and let's feed these bolts in here. If you have something like a gear wrench 5mm ball drive tool, it makes this so much easier. Finally, the last one on the very bottom. Now we've got the tensioner bolted down. You want to make sure that this bolt is a little bit loose so it can slide up and down freely. Not too freely, but just a little bit of play in it. I'm going to go ahead and put our supercharger belt back on. Right now, I've got this all the way loose with the set screw backed off. Since we're running a 2.5-inch upper pulley on this Supercharger, one of the smallest ones available, we can definitely crank this thing way down. And you can see right here that our belts are getting closer and closer to touching. We always want to make sure that there's a little bit of room between the two belts. We also want to make sure that the spring-loaded tensioner can still do its job. You never want to have a belt with no slack at all in it, because you will break this tensioner no matter how strong it is. You have the potential to just crack it. So make sure when you're tightening this thing down that you don't take all of the slack out of the belt. You should still be able to put a wrench on the tensioner down here and get a little bit of movement out of it. This one has a decent amount. You should be able to get at least a tiny bit like that. I'm pretty happy with where I have it adjusted. I'm going to use a 15mm to snug up this bolt. I'm going to grab another wrench to snug this up. I gotta tell everybody, we've had the adjustable tensioner out for a good bit of time now, almost a year, and this is the first time it's actually made it onto my 2012 Shelby GT500. I'm pretty happy now that it's there. There's excellent belt wrap around the Supercharger pulley, and we do a lot of testing on this car with different size pulleys, so it will save me some time when I need to go back to a larger pulley. I won't have to change the belt anymore. All of those are wins in my book. So if you're modifying your GT500, check out the links below. Also check out the VMP heavy duty sprung tensioner, and I will see you next time.